Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 48,988, up 1.89%. Ethereum 3221, up 0.84%. Binance is doing really well, up 7.01%. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing and create real wealth for yourself and those you love. I've hidden knowledge gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. We can see Engine and Mana NFT plays coming up right now. Engine is up about 7.6%, Mana up nearly 12%. In the previous episode, we talked about freedom of choice. But what does it mean when you come to actually trading? Using KS zone analysis, the 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth, there's always a choice between staying in the fear zone or staying in the blame zone or staying in the patience and rule zone or getting to the meaning zone. All of these different zones have choice as their basis. Deepak Chopra said it really well. When you make a choice, you change the future. Zig Ziglar said every choice you make has an end result. Returning to KS zone analysis, it means that every choice can change the future. You can change to embrace probabilistic fearlessness. You can embrace all the things that lead to inner peace and fulfillment and a better life. You can just do anything, literally. Also, you have the choice to stay in the fear zone or in the blame zone. Rule 724, choose probabilistic fearlessness. I've traded for over 30 years, and I still catch myself being afraid of certain things. It's hardwired into every single human being. But I always step back, remember Rule 724, and it's all about choosing probabilistic fearlessness, just going with the numbers, not worrying about what can happen next, just dealing with it when it comes. I'd like to say thank you to the very beautiful and generous people of our community that have reached out and said thank you to me at buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. Thank you so much for that. That's really lovely. I love your messages and quotes and things that you leave for me. It's really heart touching. Thank you. Rule 174, T-cube method, trend, timing and trigger. We're going to look at timing now using the KS method. To do that, we're going to use Rule 172 and zoom in. The first thing we do is to just try and understand what a new investor would see reading the current headlines. Cryptocurrency prices today with gains. Oh, this is positive. How anti-fragility increases Bitcoin survivability. Wow, there's a lot of illities in there. That must be good. Are coin-based shares an indirect way for institutions to invest in Bitcoin? Yes, they are. Definitely. Rich Dad, Poor Dad's Robert Kiyosaki says Bitcoin is... Oh, look, he's smiling. It must be good. Let's have a look. Oh, it's got the greatest upside. Asian lonely hearts falling victim to Bitcoin. Oh, bad Bitcoin. Bitcoin futures ETF likely to be approved. Oh, that's fantastic. Bitcoin long positions after Metaverse released to public. Ooh, I don't know what that means because I'm a new person to crypto. What could that mean? RYOT. I don't know. Cryptocurrencies, 26th of August, market trends and top performers. Wow, that must be good because it's got top performers in there. World central banks are readying for a showdown. They're doing a show on Broadway? Oh no, a showdown. That's bad. So what's happening here? The financial system. Oh, the regulators have concerns of crypto replacing their currency. No wonder they're concerned. Bit Digital BTBT gains 1.11%. That's an incredible amount. Wow, if we can only see returns like that in crypto. It's a little bit funny, but we always read these headlines from the perspective that we don't know anything about crypto. It's just how would the average person feel if they were reading these headlines. It's pretty positive today. Let's look at investment substitutability. The S&P over the past year up 29%, gold down 8%, Bitcoin up 330%. Ooh, look at that. If we had invested in Bitcoin all those years ago, that could have been quite a nice return. When we zoom in, we're all about looking at strength and underlying fundamentals. Open interest, when it increases, you can see the association between price. It's really, really important to track this. It's looking quite good. Another good really on-chain metric is the stablecoin supply ratio SSR oscillator. You see when it's coming up here, what it means, coins are flowing into the market, stablecoins, and then those stablecoins are being deployed into Bitcoin. We can see that is quite a nice constant rate. This was a sharper rate, needed correction, then it got really sharp. We look back to past runs. This is around the angle of this run. We can expect it to get a little bit wavy on the way to the top. Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. This is one of those rules that is so important to understand. You can see Bitcoin's fingerprint here in the background of crypto total market cap. As Bitcoin moves, so does the entire crypto market. It's really important to understand that. Okay, guess what? There are 11,398 total cryptos here today. Wow, welcome new cryptos. Liquidations over the past 24 hours were 316.5 million, occurring across 84,044 traders. Around 75% of liquidations over the past 12 hours were short. Turning to Binance derivatives, 24-hour trading volume was 73.9 billion, 24-hour open interest 11.2 billion. Bitcoin is having positive price pressure, 3% versus Ethereum's 2%, XRT 24%, CHR 18%, Mana 13%, COTI on a tear at 49%, STORJ 18%, SFP 16%, and Alice 24%. Crypto total market cap is currently 2.056 trillion. Nice to be above the 2 trillion. Let's have a look at fear and greed. Fear and greed is currently 75. It was 73 yesterday, and we had extreme greed the previous 4 days before that. I put that up here so that you can see it. What happens when we have extreme greed? We generally have a correction of some sort, and that's exactly what we saw. When the greed gets high, like over here, the sell-off, the probability of a sell-off is quite high as well. It's really important to bear that in mind. But we have a lot of support here from the 200-day moving average as well of price. A lot of traders keep their eyes on that, as do a lot of investors. Looking at the futures and the options, in the futures, the perpetuals are long. Turning to Bitcoin options, put-call ratio is 0.61. Total open interest is 36,920.5. Maxpain, as you can see, hasn't moved in the past 5 days. That maxpain level I drew in here, you can see it's been stepping up as price has been stepping up. Turning to Tether, we can see open interest on perpetuals is around the same level volume it's been over the past 5 days. Open interest in the futures, same as it's been over the past 4 days. All good, no problems with Tether. Bitcoin is currently 24.67 below its all-time previous high. We know in the community price is always moving in a wave, and we get incredibly excited when we put our buy orders down and they get filled. That's such an exciting thing, and a lot of the community has been very excited recently. Turning to Ethereum now. Ethereum perpetuals are short in the futures market. In the options market, the put-call ratio is 0.83, same as it was yesterday. Total open interest has increased to 241,221. The amount of Ethereum burn under EIP 1559 has increased to 314 million. We can see that the flippening has not occurred yet. For the flippening to occur, we need to see all of these things get above 100%. The probably most important one is realistically market cap. When market cap of Ethereum exceeds the market cap of Bitcoin, we can say that it's flipped then, even if some of these other things are below 100%. When we look at the distance to the previous all-time high, Ethereum is currently 30.71% away from its previous all-time high. You can see the max pain level here coming up, stepping up. It's currently at $2,800. Looking towards the top 7, they are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Binance Coin, Tether, XRP, and DOGE. The greatest 24-hour percent gainers are Rev, Tezos, Mana, Near, Cape, Cake, PancakeSwap, KCS, and BNB. The greatest 7-day percent gainers are AVAX, Tezos, Engine Coin, Tel, Swissborg, KCS, and Coin. The greatest losses in the past 24 hours, AVAX, Quant, Luna, AMP, Sushi, Rune, and SHIB. The greatest losses in the past 7 days, Audio, SHIB, Elrond, Cell, DOGE, Luna, and Clay. I'd like to thank the community members who directly message me and let me know that this 8 chart analysis is really helping them out. That's fantastic. Let me describe a little bit more about what I'm doing here. This is the 1 week chart. We can see all of this information. The 3-day chart will zoom in on this particular shaded area. The 8-hour will zoom in and show us that, and then the 4-hour will show us that. It's really good for you to understand how the 1 week, the 3-day, the 8-hour, and the 4-hour all work together. Okay, let's get into it. The important thing to note here is that these weeklies are on a log scale. They're not on a normal arithmetic scale, because Bitcoin is an exponential asset. When you zoom out, it needs to be looked at under logs. Let's have a look. Bitcoin is holding this support level quite well. We can see another support level there. We don't mind if price retraces in between the major support level and the current support level. Looking at Ethereum, we can see strong support here. We can see price wavering around a little bit, but it's getting up towards this high. That's to be expected. Look at Cardano, just romping away. We can see on the weekly basis, very strong support through this weekly trend line. Also, we have support underneath here. It looks like it's forming a bit of a star here. It's a star. The stars basically just say, well, the market's run out of a bit of steam. Don't forget, this is on the weekly basis. We have to drill down and see what is happening on the smaller time frames. But generally, if that occurs, we expect price to come down a little. Binance Coin, very strong weekly support here. We can see it's crossed a level of resistance and resumed up. XRP holding that weekly support very, very well. Cross resistance, shot up. Let's see how that one plays out. DOGE, poor old DOGE, it's crossed that particular support line, it's turned to resistance. But if you look at DOGE on the weekly, you can see these huge pumps that come in very unexpectedly and take DOGE to the moon, literally. We have to be careful about underestimating DOGE. DOT, we can see DOT really well supported by this line. It's quite close and nearly back to its all-time high. Solana, we can see that particular support line has been crossed, but this is really, really steep angle involved here. We can see that the secondary support angle is holding for the time being. Now we're going to zoom into that 3-day box, and then the 8-hour box, which is that, and then the 4-hour. Okay, let's have a look at the 3-day. We can see Bitcoin's support line in here playing in quite well. Bitcoin is still going up, even though it's a bit red. That's neither here nor there. It's making a series of higher lows. That's what defines an uptrend. It's still going up. Even if Bitcoin was to come down to around the $46,000 mark, it would still be actually maintaining this upward trend. Let's keep our eye on that. Ethereum, we can see it consolidating around that particular price, around the price it is now, 32.17. Cardano, wow, Cardano wants to party. Look at that. It was in pre-party mode, then took off. Phase 1, phase 2. What do we know about parties? Have you ever had a very heavy party that you've needed to recover from? Yeah, they happen. Okay, let's look at Binance Coin. It's starting party 1 mode. This is all about your pattern recognition. Pattern recognition is absolutely critical. XRP, that's that pre-party mode. Now XRP tried to party. It's had a bit of resistance, but this is really common when you get off that pre-party, that very initial support. We know that we're dealing with exponential asset classes. They are indeed exponential. They just take off like that. That's an exponential curve. Let's have a look here at DOGE. That's the underpinning support. That's that first party line. It's come down and shown weakness, but that's neither here nor there, especially with DOGE. DOT, let's have a look at DOT. Very nicely hugging that support line. Sol, hug the support line, and then what? It just blasted off. That's the exponential nature of cryptos. Let's zoom into the 8-hour. The 8-hour gives us a much better appreciation of where the trend is holding. You can see Bitcoin bouncing off this support. It's getting positive air in there. It's looking quite good. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Look at Ethereum, just shot up. It's consolidating around, seeking to get over this 33.23 mark. Cardano is doing really well. It's partying hard, and it's having a little bit of a rest on the way up. Binance Coin, really starting to get started, actually. We can look at this support and this further support. It's taking off. This is a launch ramp. What about XRP? Poor old XRP. It was doing really well before, partying very hard, and now it's come back. A couple of members of the community asked me to look into XRP. I'm really happy to do that. I always love doing these little side projects for you. Just reach out and let me know what you'd like me to do. I'm always happy to do it. It's just finding the time, but I definitely pay a lot of attention. DOGE, we can see DOGE has this support line. It's just recently been broken. That's turning it to resistance. DOT is maintaining the support quite well, but showing a little bit of weakness. Look at Sol, it's just on a tear. So much positive air above here. Let's have a look at the 4-hour. If we look at Bitcoin, it's maintaining its support really, really well. It's on the positive side of the support, which means price is going up. It's being supported. It makes sense, really. Ethereum, we've got this support line coming in. Price is just testing the current support. If we look at Cardano is realistically going up with that support as well. Binance Coin, I drew this in for you to show you what partying really means. Binance, we had this particular support line first, and then it increased in angle, and then it increased in angle. That's party time. Let's have a look at XRP. XRP is doing well on the 4-hour. It's maintaining positive air above that support. Let's have a look at Doge. Doge unfortunately is showing this weakness. It's dropped below that support line. Let's have a look at DOT. DOT, you can see this support that is drawn from the earlier price action, from about the 20th of July. Then you see another upward channel. You see that positive air running under there. That's really, really good. Now DOT is actually come down to test these two channels. How about Sol? What's Sol up to? Just looking at Sol, look at this channel here. Very, very strong channel. Then it started to break out. When it broke out, it went bananas. Technical term. It really did well. But see, the current price is coming back to test that upward support line. Price is always moving in a wave. That's why we don't FOMO. There's really no need. Rule 302, study the top. Let's have a look at the top 15 from Binance ranked over the past 14 days. We can see Luna in the lead, 76% up. Sol just behind, 76.27%. ADA, 49.89%. BNB, around 32%. DOT, 21%. XRP, nearly 15%. MATIC, nearly 9%. Bitcoin, just around 8%. XLM, 5.85%. DOGE, 5%. Litecoin, 4%. Bitcoin Cash, 4%. Link, 3.4%. Ethereum, 2.3% now. Ethereum Classic, 1.9%. And Uni, unfortunately, losing 5%. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's technical analysis. Bitcoin is currently trading at 48,774. It has support below at 48,593, 47,819, 47,206, and 46,566. What I see here when I look at this chart, Bitcoin has overcome resistance. Now, what happened up here? Bitcoin made a play for this $50,000 psychological resistance. There was so much selling pressure that it drove it down. Now it's coming back up. Why is it coming back up? Because it wants to attack that 50,000 again and see if it can get through it. It's really positive that Bitcoin is over this resistance line. It may come back and test it again, but you can see a lot of basic support is coming up through these lines as well. Not just the horizontal ones, the diagonal too. Looking at Ethereum's technicals, ETH is currently trading at 32.1062. It's literally just near its resistance. It has support below at 31.30, 45, 30.87, 11, 29.88, 19, 29.08, 70. We can see a fairly good support line here coming up in yellow, just underneath its current price. We've actually passed across a resistance level that's now turned into support. So we've got a little bit of cradling here. Let's see what happens. We can see Bitcoin's fingerprint in the background. We can see Bitcoin has also overcome resistance. What do we know? No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. When Bitcoin breaks out from resistance, everything breaks out. It's just the normal way it goes. Let's have a look at Cardano. ADA is doing really well. Current price, 271.30. Resistance above at 275. Support below, 264.11, 257.44, $2.50, 247, 240.37, 232.70. We can see quite a good line of support here. It's really coming into play with ADA's price. We can also see ADA overcame this resistance. It's just seeking to get above it. When ADA starts to travel, ADA's price starts to get above 283.08. I think we're going to see some fireworks. Why do I say that? If we look at this particular hump here in past price action, it realistically, ADA came up to try and take out that $3 psychological level, but so many people were selling around $3 that price backed away. It's a similar thing to Bitcoin, similar thing to Ethereum. You could almost say we had a massive psychological resistance convergences occurring all at once across the key alts. That actually put a lot of selling pressure in. But it looks like that may be overcome. If price can continue on its upward trajectory, like we understand that Bitcoin has crossed across its own resistance, we see that in Bitcoin's fingerprint under here. That's why it's always important to compare Bitcoin's price action to your beloved alts. Everything we do together as a community is all about probabilistic fearlessness. Methods defeat fear. It's a really, really powerful thing you can live by. Looking at Binance Coin, BNB. BNB is currently trading at 510.46. It has support below at 504.99, 500, which is a key psychological support line now, 483.11, 468.86, 457.91. It's really interesting to note that where other alts failed to get above this psychological resistance, for example in BNB, it was $500. BNB has crossed above that psychological level. It's going to be really interesting to keep our eye on BNB. Let's have a look at XRP's technicals. XRP currently trading at 1.1612, support below 1.1458, 1.1123, 1.0780, 1.0503. When I look at this chart, I see something really specific. I see a lot of support coming in here down this particular line. That's coming in around the 1.1123 mark. I also see this resistance stopping XRP from going up. That will be broken conclusively at this level, 121.99. I think that if we see price getting across to the 121.99, and there's no reason why that can't happen at all. We also look at Bitcoin's fingerprint in the background. We see Bitcoin has crossed above this resistance. We know Bitcoin's gravity. What does it do? It pulls all alts with it. We can even see Bitcoin came down a little. What did XRP? It came down a little. It went up here. It's just like magic. Turning to Dogecoin. Doge is currently trading at 28.894, support below 27.989, 26.874, 25.735. When I look at this chart, I see a very, very strong resistance playing out at around the 37.29 mark currently. I also see a high degree of correlation between Bitcoin's movement and Doge's movement, which is quite normal. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Now, the interesting thing, I believe Doge will become very explosive to the upside when it seeks to start repairing, and that repair would be anything over 32.535. I think Doge is just going to explode. We'll keep our eyes on it. If you're a long-term Dogecoin holder, just dollar cost averaging in is a really, really good idea. We're absolutely in the right phase of the market. Rule 109, enhance pattern recognition. This is an incredibly important rule. This section is all about training your pattern recognition skills. You can notice that we've lined up from May. So we're trying to compare apples to apples all the time. Not often easy with this kind of analysis, but that's what we're seeking to do. We always put Bitcoin in here so we can refer back to Bitcoin's basic pattern when we're looking at other patterns. So let's go through them. What do we notice about Bitcoin? It passed across this resistance. It's been supported very, very well on price. Let's have a look at MATIC. MATIC has been very well supported, and then it's got a pre-party takeoff line here. That's quite good. Let's keep our eye on MATIC. I think it could do really, really well. Let's have a look at THETA token, another community favorite. We can see a support line up here. Price is underneath, it's under resistance, but that's just an early thing. It's almost like theta is back around here somewhere. Let's have a look at VeChain. VeChain has good support. Price is just a little bit below it, under resistance, but that's not such a bad thing. When we look at it, there's a lot of overhead resistance. We can see price trying to get above the previous peak. We're always going to get problems like that with downward price pressure. We can see with Chainlink, support has just only recently been broken. It's been turned to resistance. If we look at Icon, Icon is above support. That's very healthy for Icon, and Icon has a long way to go to its previous high. We look at Silica. Silica was expanding really well, but then dropped under. We can see this is a very unusual case compared to the others, so pattern recognition really comes in here. In this case, we had a support line, price dropped below it, creating another support line. Here, that price is being maintained. We really want to see different things like what we see in MATIC. We want to see a support line, then a takeoff line. All of these alts will recover as Bitcoin rallies. It's just really important to look at the timing of these entries into these coins. Let's have a look at Telcoin. We can see overcoming resistance here. We see a very good support line. Price just dipped below it and rallied above it, and price is realistically around that support line at the moment. All very interesting. It's really a focus that you can look at to recognize different patterns. I'll cover off some more patterns for you. Returning to Bitcoin, we always start with an analysis of Bitcoin. So what we see with Bitcoin, it's over resistance being held by support. Let's have a look at COTI. Wow, COTI wants to party. We've got the first party line, the second party line, the third party line. That is a very sharp spike. Sharp spikes, interesting. Tezos, let's look at Tezos. First party line, second party line. CHR, first party line. STORJ, first, second, and then drop down. This is a different pattern, isn't it? Always good to keep your eyes on these things. SFP, first party line. What's happening with Decentraland? With Mana? We can see, basically, if we drew a line across from these lows, we can get something, but it's probably much better to draw a line where the majority of the price action is. That's a stronger line. That's a really good tip. We can see this is the first party line. Look at NEAR. NEAR has gone bananas. One party line, 2 and 3. It's almost like COTI, isn't it? This is the power of getting your pattern recognition skills. You can see so many things, but you have to look at a lot of coins, but choose your ones that you invest or trade in really carefully. A handful is best. I hope you found the content useful. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from and if you have any questions. If you'd like updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube, and you can join us on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. I've left details in the description of this video. Please always remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.